Hey, everybody. I'm Rick Wilson. I married a beautiful woman and I broke a tooth. That's a story of my Christmas holiday. But we're back talking about today the most incredibly madhouse, insane, over-the-top situation this country's found itself in a long time. And it's the one-year anniversary of Donald Trump returning to curse this nation for another term. Guys, I want to start, though, with today's press conference because it was the most batshit thing I've ever seen in 30 plus years of public life. And I just want to start out, if you're the president and you say that God is proud of you, you are inviting the lightning bolt. We have that clip.
Thank you very much. First of all, last year you told me that you believe that the reason you won an election is because God put you in this place so that you could save the world. Looking back 1 year, do you feel like God is proud of the effort that you've put in?
I do, actually. I think God is very proud of the job I've done. And that includes for religion. You know, we're protecting a lot of people that are being killed. Christians and Jewish people, and lots of people are being protected by me that wouldn't be protected by another type of president. No, I think a lot of people are very proud of the job we've done. We've had an amazing year. This has been one of the greatest years. Even some people that wouldn't necessarily love me instinctively, they're saying this was an incredible year. We've had an incredible.
What other type? You mean the sane type or?
What other type of president? I don't know. The non-criminal, madman. I mean, guys, what did you make of it? I mean, I thought I came across with a Jeb Bush vibe at the end, like, please clap. It was sad.
Well, first, Joe, I got to ask: are you wearing the firefighters?
Yeah,
shirt?
Yeah.
That's from your son, the firefighter.
Yeah,
nice.
Who we just got to take a moment to give a shout out. Who did incredible work during COVID. Right?
Yep. Yeah. No, he real proud of him. He's but I mean he takes all kinds of crap in the firehouse. Your commie dad's on TV again, you know that kind of stuff. But he gave me this shirt for Christmas. Those big gifts you get from your son, but I was proud of it.
Hey,
Bruce Springsteen's son is a firefighter too, and he probably gets a hard time as well. So.
Yeah,
probably. So I mean, guys, the press conference ranged from pathetic to insane to angry to defensive to egomaniacal and everywhere in between. I thought the low moment was when he started saying that Renee Good's wife was an agitator and bragging that Renee Good's dad was a Trump fan. He still hopes he's still a Trump fan. I don't know, dude. You murdered his fucking daughter. So let's roll that clip.
And her father in particular I hope he still is, but I don't know, was a tremendous Trump fan. He was all for Trump, loved Trump. And, it's terrible. I was told that by a lot of people. They said, oh, he loves you. He was I hope he still feels that way. I don't know. It's a hard situation. But her father was a tremendous, and parents were tremendous Trump fans. It's so sad. It just happens. It's terrible.
Yeah, it just happens.
It just happens. You just give ICE a license to kill Americans. It just happens.
One day the parents love me. The next day their daughter's dead.
They should just comply and keep loving him.
Yeah. Amazing.
I mean,
the most depressing thing about this, guys, is I think tomorrow he'll be worse, and the next day he'll be worse. Today was the best day of the Trump presidency.
Right, it's like that saying the Navy SEALs had. The only easy day was yesterday.
Yeah, he's on a downward spiral that started at a very low level, so I didn't give him much cushion there to bounce back.
I mean, I don't know how many Castro-esque hours that speech took today, but he's going through these pictures of people that ICE is trying to arrest in Minnesota. He is simultaneously delivering subpoenas. They're having subpoenas delivered to the mayor of Minneapolis and the mayor of St. Paul and to the governor, from what I'm told. But an hour and a half of him reading off his list of accomplishments, and he kept looping back over and over again. I mean, I'm kind of wondering. This is like watching, Andrew Tate get back in the MMA ring at the age of 40 and get his ass kicked. This was not a guy at the top of his game.
Well, it was. I don't know. I disagree with you. I think this was him at the top of his game.
All right, the top of his game today.
Yeah, and I agree with Stuart. It's all downhill from here.
Look, if you're in an airport and you saw this guy at a bar, you would tip off TSA. Like,
sure,
should this guy really get on a plane? I mean, I say that in all seriousness. This is an unbalanced, crazy guy.
I mean, and the example just kept coming today about the crazy, like wanting to name it the Gulf of Trump. Can we have that? Let's play that.
Yeah.
And while we're at it, we also took the Gulf of Mexico, and now it's the Gulf of America. Because we have 92% of the shoreline. It always bothered me. I'd say, we have most of the shoreline. Mexico has a small percentage, talks about 8%. We have 92%. And I said, why is it the Gulf of Mexico? It should be the Gulf of America. I was going to call it the Gulf of Trump, but I thought that I would be killed if I did that. I wanted to do it. I wanted to. My people work so hard. Sir, I don't think it'll look too good. I'm telling you, it's a good thing. And it'll be hotter than ever, I said. No, but I decided not to do that. I'm joking, when I say that. I was not going to call it the Gulf of Trump. Because tomorrow it'll be, Trump wanted to call it the Gulf of Trump, but he was rebuffed by his people. My people don't rebuff me too much. The Gulf of Trump, that does have a good ring, though. Maybe we could do that.
I'm old enough to remember when taking Greenland was a joke. It was just He was just joking about it,
Yeah. That's a cycle that we've seen, right? He jokes about something, then people write about the outrageous thing. Then all the Republican and MAGA writers go, "Well, how dare you? You're just triggered because he's making a joke. Ha ha! Isn't it funny?" And then Wall Street Journal or somebody at a conservative outlet like CBS does a statement like, "Well, perhaps there's something to this," and then it becomes national policy. I also noticed today he was really hitting on trying to play the greatest hits album, like women in men's sports, trans. That issue is so now in the rear view with America. I'm wondering, like, do you guys see that as a tell about how badly he thinks the rest of the portfolio looks?
Well, what's if you weren't for Trump this morning, why are you for him now? I mean, what is what's the bargain they're trying to strike with voters or citizens? I mean, forget voters, anybody. Like, what are you getting? There's no promise here except like Greenland. Really? I mean,
well, it's not just the promise, though. It's like, look, everybody knows that the tariffs have made prices go up. So what's he going to do to get Greenland? He's going to put tariffs on all of Europe till they give us Greenland.
Right. 200% tariffs on France.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now what is perplexing about all this is he wants to lower. I've seen people all over the country worried about how they're going to make ends meet and suffering from higher inflation and the higher costs. Most of them understand the tariffs are part of that. But no, I don't know of many Americans who've been demanding that we take over Greenland. I mean, that's who here. It's not even clear. Even like, I think maybe 7% of the MAGA base wants to take Greenland. So it's like kind of like, insane. Well, insane is a really good way to talk about most of what he did today.
Yeah, I would like to meet that 7%.
Yeah.
Who is it like?
Exactly.
Who are they and where do they live? I mean, I just
We
wonder.
have a huge base in Greenland. How do you think you already?
Guys, we used to have 17 facilities in Greenland, and we shut them down after World War II, and then after the Cold War because we didn't need them anymore. And isn't it fascinating to you? It's like suddenly the administration's all like Russia hawks on Greenland. Russia could invade any minute now. Well, if you wanted to stop Russia from invading Greenland, you would help Ukraine whip their ass in Europe.
But
because the minute they lose that war, Putin's going to fly out a window.
But Russia would need a navy, and
yes.
The last time I checked, Ukraine
has sunk most of the Russian Navy. The Ukrainians have even sunk Russian Navy ships that aren't in the Black Sea. That's a lift, and that is a pretty good skill. But all this stuff about Greenland, I mean, I think we all agree this is really about breaking up NATO. But he's blaming Norway for not giving him the Nobel Prize, both in his note to the Norwegian Prime Minister and today at the presser. Let's roll that.
How far are you willing to go to acquire Greenland?
You'll find out.
Yeah.
You know, the only downside of invading Greenland is that China gets to invade Taiwan. NATO falls apart. The global economy collapses. The American economy collapses. We lose all of our security and position in the world. Other than that, it's a sheer winner. It's absolutely. I hope the Republicans just tie themselves to Trump on this. It's a great issue for them.
You know, I was in Greenland for a couple of weeks this spring, and one of the big debates.
Of course you were.
No, I did.
I love that.
Yeah, we talked about that. You remember?
Yeah.
One of the great sort of issues was, you know, there's a line apparently in Greenland, below which you're allowed to have dogs of mixed breeds. Above that line, you can only have purebred huskies.
Right.
And there was one of the big social issues was whether or not they should move that line a little. I mean, that's Greenland, what you're dealing with here. I mean, it's, you know, the idea that we're going to go to war, like, you know, to move the husky line north or south.
Right. With 57,000 people who, and all of this stuff about the resources, the minerals there. I talked to somebody the other day who like knows the rare earth thing. He's like, there may be, but nobody's ever wanted to spend the money because it's the hardest place in the world to work. And this was a guy who had worked North Sea oil fields and Alaskan oil fields. He's like, no, those are easy compared to Greenland. Greenland is the Mount Everest of working in any kind of industrial engineering.
And expensive to do.
Yes.
It's not gonna, it's just, I mean, people think you don't go mining for rare earths. There's something else that you have to process and all that. And
Right.
and in that environment, and the 50,000 people, they're it's essentially a welfare state. I mean, in other words, take it over. You're going to end up expanding. It'll cost more to keep it going than you'll ever make. You know, it's crazy.
What Trump has managed to do is make Greenland a positive issue for the Danes, who were kind of sick of paying all this money for. And, you know, there's something, I think, like 18 to 20,000 Greenlanders who live in Denmark. Right. And there's a lot of, I mean, when I was there, met numerous people that would have, you know, a Danish father, Danish mother, vice versa. So, you know, but it's not a booming economy.
No. But again, Donald Trump settled 87 wars and he deserved the Nobel Peace Prize, guys. Let's play the clips of Donald being very butthurt about not getting the Nobel Prize.
But are average Americans wrong to still feel high prices? And how much longer does the White House hope that they?
So I think a lot of people are listening to the fake news a little bit. And I'm not blaming anybody. I think I blame ourselves. I think we've done a much better job than we're able to promote. We're not promoting. We're doing a great job, and we're sort of letting the promotion take care of itself.
Blaming the messenger. There you go.
Yeah.
It always works.
Yeah, those high prices.
How dare you be paying high prices and not believing me that they're not high prices?
Let me ask you this. You're a campaign manager for a Republican in a really tough district, which there are some, and you see this. What are you thinking?
I think you're in a world of hurt at that point.
Yeah.
I think
you're hoping.
Go ahead, Joe.
I think you're hoping, like the other 87% of Americans, that we don't find out how far he's willing to go to take Greenland. I mean, it's like, how do you defend that? I mean, literally, we're not talking anymore about a 56 to 44 kind of issue here. You know, we're not talking about 53-47. We're talking literally 83 to 7. And he's doubling down on it and claiming that the increased prices are just people's imagination and a hoax and all that, while he's putting more tariffs on to double down on the prices he's already raised, the harm he's already caused farmers and people. It makes no sense. But I'm sure they will all sit there and say they didn't see the press conference. They were busy doing something else.
I was too busy. I was washing my hair.
Or we'll get I'm very concerned, but
I hope the president focuses on the issues of the economy, and I know he will, because I love him.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you combine unpopular foreign adventure in Greenland, catastrophic economic damage. The markets today are getting very jittery, guys. And do you think that, Trump doesn't care about what happens to ordinary people when the markets get jittery, but he sure cares about his own investments and his friends. Do you guys think that the market signaling we're getting out of the last 24 hours, where the volatility rates are up, the long-term interest rates are rising quickly, which is going to stop him from being able to cut home mortgage rates, and it's going to also slow the Fed down from any more changes? Do you guys think that he might have more responsiveness to the market crashing than the economy crashing?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's like in the past he's responded to the markets when they get cuckoo.
But then he's got to back down on wanting Greenland. You know, I mean, So I mean, the problem, the real problem, the reason is because there's real consequences to this stuff. Europe holds more of our debt than China. Yeah. Europe combined. So they only have a few tools. They're not going to go in and, they're not going to fight militarily to save Greenland, because, they're not, they understand might makes right here in Trump land. So there are only a few tools they have. And one of them is no more debt. We're not going to buy any more of it. It's over. And just that alone is going to make the bond markets go. If that card's played, is going to make the bond markets.
Corn text comment, Rick, what are you talking about? Kramer just said it's a great time to invest in America. Yeah. Totally not 2008 flashbacks. Anytime Jim Cramer tells you it's all good, prepare for the meteor to strike the world.
Yeah, exactly.
What's really telling us what we're not talking about, and I guess in a way you have to say this is a successful trope of his. We're not talking about the Epstein files. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about Ukraine, which is arguably in the most painful position. That's the right word, I think, since the war started. The infrastructure attack that's now on its third winter.
Yeah.
Third. It seems to be, it's cumulative. You destroy a power plant, you can't build it back in 6 months.
It doesn't pop up overnight, right?
Such that I saw a social media post by this famous Ukrainian female mountaineer who was giving advice on how she stayed warm, on Everest climbs. And this is what, very sort of Ukrainian upbeat, like,
right. I did it. You can too, right?
I did it on Everest. You can, that's the idea that this is a European city.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just staggering.
I think you saw something. You're seeing the earliest plays of it when Macron comes out today and says, "Look, we're going to have to look for more stable countries to deal with than the U.S."
Yeah.
And when Canada says we're making a trade deal with China because U.S. is not a good partner, and Mexico is about to announce a large new trade deal with China because we're not a stable partner. And I don't know what Trump really understands about global trade, but if we lose the European market, our economy's done. If we lose, and as Joe said, that they own more of our debt. If they don't buy our T-bills, our economy's done.
Yeah. And,
so happy first year, Donald.
The thing that I just go back to about this is America has benefited from the greatest economic boom in the history of the world post-World War II. And because we did help save the world, because there is a stable Europe, because there is a stable trade zone, because there is a Pax Americana.
Yep.
And we're all immensely benefiting from that.
Yeah.
And Europe is immensely benefiting from it.
Sure.
You know, I mean, I'm old enough to remember, like, the first time I went to Italy, it seemed like this really poor country. Like, you know, people were driving around in old cars that were falling apart and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, I feel that way when I go back to Mississippi. And it's, you know, it's like, what are we fixing that's broke here? We had this world order that was NATO's most successful military alliance in history.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I don't think Biden did nearly enough on Ukraine, but you never woke up in the morning and thought he was for Putin.
No.
It really, it's like a third generation. These Republicans remind me of like a third generation trust fund kids that are so removed from what it took to create the wealth that it just doesn't mean anything to them. Like, it's always going to be there.
Right.
Which, of course, is the story of Trump. He inherited $400 million. He'd be vastly more wealthy if he just put it in, you know,
the S&P.
Yeah, vastly.
But for all this, you know, we're looking at this first year, folks, and this shows a little. We're a little all over the board tonight, which is fine. But this first year, he has poisoned our image in the world. He has wrecked our image. Let's play the clip. We've got a Danish member of the European Parliament. Let's play this clip because this would never have happened with George Bush,
with a different type of
Barack
president.
Obama, or Ronald Reagan, or Bill Clinton, or any Republican president, or any Democratic president until now.
Let me put this in words you might understand. Mr. President, fuck off. Det var næsten sådan ordene lød, da jeg for et år siden stod på den selv samme talerstol og sagde meget klart, at hvis Trump...
I'm sorry, colleague, this is against our rules. As much as you might feel, or the room might feel in this, we have clear rules about cuss words, language that is inappropriate in this room. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it is unacceptable, even if you might have strong political feelings about this.
Det er jo interessant, at det bliver en semantisk øvelse, men budskabet var klar.
And folks, that is just the tip of the iceberg. You know, folks that looked at us with like they could rely on us, that they could trust us, that they believed in this country. They would never have imagined. And right now there are European troops being deployed to Greenland that American soldiers are going to be ordered to kill if this happens. Because Pete Hegseth is a war fighter.
Yeah, I mean, if you think the invasion of Greenland is unpopular now, wait till Americans start dying.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, the invasion of Greenland right now, there are 3 public polls that are out so far. All of them are below 10% support for an invasion of Greenland. Below 10%. When we left Vietnam, When the last helicopter flew off the roof of the embassy, about 30% of Americans still supported U.S. forces staying in Vietnam. If you think this is going to go well, and yes, can we beat Greenland militarily? Absolutely. Can we beat the European forces deployed there? 100%. Will it destroy America's moral standing in the world? Yes. And the next fucking day, at the in the plan, the People's Liberation Army Navy and the PLA, the People's Liberation Army, and the MSS, the Chinese Intelligence Service, and the MSC, their Foreign Intelligence Propaganda Service, they're going to wake up and go, looks like Taiwan's on the menu, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot more people of Chinese ancestry in Taiwan than there are of American ancestry in Greenland. I mean,
yes.
I mean,
well, and Taiwan would be a much more valuable prize than
by a bit. Yeah.
So do you want like, you know, a dying whale oil business or the semiconductor business?
I don't know. Call me crazy. I think TMSC is more valuable than the whale oil export business from Greenland.
Yeah. I mean,
well, I will also say, you know, the catalog of things that was talking about today of things he's done to the country in the first year. Let's play the clip of him going through the list, and then let's play the attempted assassination with the paper clip item with the binder clip.
Here's the book. These are all things we have. I'm going to read a few of the samples, but look at this. These are all, each line is something that we did. Nobody did that before. And it's big stuff, too. Look, we have the hottest country in the world.
He loves a visual aid, except when it tries to kill him.
The book on accomplishments. And this is something, ooh, I'm glad my finger wasn't in that sucker. That could have done some damage, but you know what? I wouldn't have shown the pain. I would have gone back. Boy, did you hear that? That was nasty. But I would not have shown the pain. I would have acted like nothing happened as my finger fell off. That was a nasty. I think somebody did that. I think it was him. It was my man. How were you? You didn't do it. I know you did. I know you didn't. So.
That sounds like something.
He needs to be in a home with help. He needs help. He needs help.
You would take the keys away.
You would. We've got a question from the audience about the 25th Amendment. See, there's a point with the U.S. corporations push the 25th Amendment move or impeachment. No. U.S. corporations are so chicken shit right now. They've discovered you can pay Trump $1 million, which for a lot of these tech firms is rounding error for the daily kombucha budget. And they're not going to push for it. They're just not. They're not going to get on the phone with any Republicans or any cabinet members say, "Hey, you got to stop this." They're just not. So, anyway, guys, well, let's wrap up what we think about this first year. Joe, I'll let you go first.
It's something Stuart said to me when I first joined Lincoln Project, that we all lacked the imagination of what this guy was capable of and would do.
Yep.
And every day, Stuart's proven right. I mean, it's a year I don't think any of us could have imagined. And now the problem, I think, is I think it's sort of authoritarian acceleration. It's like now it's a race for the authoritarian grab, whether it's because he sees the polling numbers going down, whether it's because the people around him want to stay out of prison and want to stay in power to make sure that doesn't happen. I mean, all of this, it just seems now to be accelerating. As Stuart said earlier, it is going to get worse, and you can see it. The decline is steeper, and I think unraveling faster. I mean, with more speed. And so I think this get very dangerous time in terms of what he will do next. Because again, I lack the imagination. We continue to have that problem with him.
We all do. Stuart, so wrap up the first year for me. What do you see, and look ahead a little bit too?
The problem with the unimaginable is it's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
And I think that the real question here is, so Republicans, at what point will any of these senators stand up? And so far it's been absolutely nothing. And maybe the test is, if somebody organizes, or encourages, inspires a mob that comes into your workplace and tries to kill you, and you're okay with that, we think there's going to be some policy point they're going to cross,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, his position on the law of the sea treaty. That's like too much. I can't go along with it anymore. But, if I still believe that when Americans see this, the majority, not just a plurality, find it appalling. And who is for these mass thugs strutting around like Gestapo? It's such a disservice to all of the law enforcement professionals who show incredible restraint, who deal with the most difficult situations and try to diffuse them, not accelerate them. And it makes their job so much harder. It just makes America so much less safe. I just hope that Democrats, because it's only going to be Democrats, start talking about the legal mechanism to hold these people criminally accountable, and at the highest level.
Yep, it has to be. I mean, if people like Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem and Tom Homan and Greg Bovino and Pete Hegseth do not end up in courtrooms, this country's doomed. And it is always, gentlemen, wonderful to talk to you guys. You are two of the smartest gentlemen who walk this planet, and you guys know this fight that we're in better than anybody. Folks, this is a bad anniversary for the country. It's a grim anniversary for the country. We're not, we try to make light of it here sometimes to keep it. It's always darkest just before the night turns completely pitch black. We try to keep it, even gallows humor is humor sometimes. But we do appreciate y'all watching, tuning in. The audience has been growing for the show. We're really happy about that. You can also catch me on the Elephant in the Room podcast, the Enemies List podcast, the Lincoln Project podcast on Tuesday nights here on the Strategy Session, on Thursday nights on the Breakdown, and on Fridays on Behind the Numbers with Andrew Wilson, the Smart Wilson. We appreciate you all. You can catch Joe on the Two Joes podcast and on that Trippy show. Stuart doesn't have a podcast yet, but we're working on it.
He's smarter than the two of us.
right, by an order of magnitude.
Out the Free Greenland podcast.
Yes, the Free Greenland podcast. Anyway, folks, keep your eye on Davos. Trump is on his way there now to cause chaos and dissension and disorder. And Gavin Newsom is also there, trolling him like a pro on the ground out there as we speak. So it's going to be an even more chaotic rest of the week, and then it's only Tuesday. So, folks, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks everybody. Take care.